Hi, this is Paul Hamilton. I've had a lot of questions about this Cosmos Phase 2 trike for sale. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and look at it in as much detail as I can show you as quickly as possible. So let's go look at it. Okay, and as you can see, it's hangered nicely here, covered to keep the dust off it. A lot of people have asked how many hours on the airframe. There's 700 hours on the airframe. This is a brand new engine. It's got about 30 hours on it. And here's the Flycom helmets, which are part of this. Two just about almost brand new. First of all, let's look at the wing. Now we're going to take a real close look here. And we can see the wings in really good condition here. Looking at the fabric. Great condition. And we'll go down the trailing edge here. Look up and see the king post, the attachment up there, the wing to the carriage. Come down our keel. Okay, and we can see our engine. Looks like brand new. We can see our fuel system. Look at the prop. And of course you can see there, the prop looks like it's in great condition. And this is a power fin prop. And you can see how nice it's been taken care of. Exhaust system. Okay, and I also put a little mirror here on the fairing so that when you're flying you can actually look down and get a much better view of your fuel level here, so you don't really have to turn around. So it's an absolute gauge of how much fuel you have here. Now let's look at the cockpit here. Okay, it's got the ballistic chute. As you can see, that is built right into the cowling here. Okay, over here is the ballistic chute handle that you would, of course, pull if you so needed, right on the seatbelt here. Okay, and we'll also notice we can, on our instrument panel, we can see we've got a built-in, a radio, the Flycom intercom system, your switches, and you can see you've got your analog airspeed indicator, your RPM and engine hours meter, your CHT, which reads 2 CHTs, and your EGT, which reads 2 EGTs. We've also got your altimeter and variometer, vertical speed indicator, and we've also got a compass here. And one of the things that's really makes this trike perform very well, even though it only has a 503 engine, is notice how the ballistic parachute is built inside of the cowling here. That eliminates a lot of drag. Additionally, if you'll notice, almost all the tubing here is streamlined. Your front tube is streamlined. Your down tubes here are streamlined. And you can notice all of your tubes here also, except for your main landing gear, because it's got the shocks, the shock system here. But notice all these tubes here are also streamlined. So when you combine all that and the weight, this little 503 can do a great job at getting you where you want to go. I've flown this little 503 over the Sierras from Reno to San Francisco area a number of times. It does a great job. And of course it's got your, you can see here, it's got the proper paperwork here. Airworthiness and registration, all current. It does have your dual training. So if you're in the back, you can steer from here. Yeah, they're not mounted on here right now, but it also has training bars here. So from the back seat, you can do the ground steering and as well as the wing steering control. And from the back, it's got your throttle here as well as your kill switches. Right now it's set up for single place. And we'll switch it over to two place here. What's nice also about this is it's got quite a bit of a large storage area down here, as you can see. Much more storage than most trikes have. So what we're doing now is we're just going to fix this seat here. So now it's a two-place. Now it's a two-place. Of course, the person in back sits right here, and the person sits in front right here. And for this particular unit, I've also got this old little privacy board here for the front and the back person, if you so wish that. One of the other things we have here that's nice is that this fuel tank, this option fuel tank, can fit down into this baggage compartment. Okay, and then this fuel can feed into your fuel here, so you can actually in flight add 5 gallons of fuel to your tank here. And this actually holds 12 gallons. The main tank, I'd call it 11 usable. Plus you can add this 5 gallons, which you can actually reach back, open up the valve here I made, and drain this fuel tank into the other one. And so there we go. We'll take another little walk around here to look at it. A little pitot tube here. Wheel pants. And let's just zoom in on that engine a little bit, since you can see how nice that looks. Dynafocal engine mounts. And again, we'll look at that prop, which is pretty much looks like brand new. Exhaust looks like is in great shape. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but I've got them turned on here. We've got a strobe right here. And we've also got a strobe right here. So you've got full coverage as far as the strobe goes, visibility. This strobe here actually lights up the sail, so it works out pretty nice overall. So there we go. There's the Cosmos for sale. Give me a call and come out and you can look at it yourself. Ready to go. And additionally, in this book, Weight Shift Control, Aircraft Flying Handbook, the book I wrote for the FAA, there's all kinds of pictures of this Cosmos Trike in this book for you to look at, showing a lot of more details than I've shown you previously. So, we'll open this up and I'll show you some of the pictures. First picture here, second picture here, showing the nice aerial shot of the wing. Here we've got the carriage inside a 7-foot wide trailer, ready to be hauled off somewhere. Another shot here without the wheel pan on in the winter, showing the electric gloves, in which in here there is an outlet where you can plug in different electric gloves and things. It operates off the switch here on the panel. Another shot here, they turned it backwards so it's going the wrong direction. and onward. Here we have a nice shot of the wing. The wing up here, a shot here with the Cosmos at a very, very high attitude and a very, very low attitude. Also, all these diagrams here, as you can see, that is actually that Cosmos, done an artwork showing this exactly where the center of gravity is versus the thrust line here. Into the components and systems here, another shot here showing the training bars. We're actually up to chapter 3 now. And a nice shot of the leading edge here. And how nice the sail is. And here, as we're going over all these hardware, we're looking at some details of the battens here, the keel pocket, the crossbar tensioning unit here. Inside the sail, we're looking at the wires here. We're looking at the king post and the luff lines here, reflex cables, the washout strut on the Cosmos. Okay, and this shows the nice triangular landing gear configurations on the Cosmos, the triangle design. And here we have a shot of the another shot of the cockpit with some different instruments here, all the different possible scenarios here for instruments. So this is one of the earlier instrument panels I used in the Cosmos. And looking at all the different power plants here. Okay, so here's a shot of that engine, and a nice diagram showing you how the two-cycle engines work. Showing onto page 4-6, here we can see where the EGT probes are located, the tuned exhaust system and the exhaust silencer, and the carburetor for that aircraft. And this is actually a nice diagram here of the fuel system, how the fuel comes up through here, through the filter, onto the fuel pump, and into the carbs. And we're showing right here how we've got the cylinder head temperature hooked up to one of the two ignition systems on here. Let's see what else we've got. Nice shot of the wing looking down over where we practice a lot. And setting up the weight shift. Now, the nice thing here is that in this book, we've got, starting on page 5.8, setting up the weight shift aircraft. Well, this shows you exactly the setup procedure for this wing. Tensioning it, how to do everything. So this is really about the best setup for that particular wing, showing you every detail on how that's done. And the takedown procedure here for that particular wing. Pre-flight inspection. Okay, again, we're going to show you a pre-flight inspection of the wing with all the different aspects here. Wing inspection, carriage inspection, everything right here, step by step for this Cosmos Trike that's for sale. How convenient to have it right in this book. Shot of what it looks like taxiing. And of course, more shots. This was actually in Oshkosh when it flew at Oshkosh. I'll start to look at some of the flight maneuvers. Here's a nice view doing a 45-degree bank turn in our practice area for the Cosmos. And here's a higher altitude here, looking at the reference point. Nice views from that Cosmos. Another views of the Cosmos, what it looks like when you're flying. Okay, some more views here. Takeoff and departure climbs. A shot here down the rectangular course from the Cosmos. Okay, we're looking at the going across the reference line here in the Cosmos. And again, looking out the wing here, the maneuvers. And here we are with the Cosmos in the airport pattern section here in chapter 10. Again, some more shots here of approaching the airports in the Cosmos. Okay, again, here we have some shots from what it looks like from the Cosmos. Crosswind landing, regular landings. And we blast through a couple chapters here of night flying, nothing in there. And here's the last shot. The book is actually a simulation, but it does show you how the parachute's actually hooked up on this particular trike on the top. So if you do pop the chute, you come down and land on your all three wheels. Well, there we go. That ought to give you enough pictures to look and see a lot of the details of the Cosmos Trike. So give me a call if you want to look at it or talk about it. Look forward to talking to you.